welcome everybody. So today we got more Baldur's Gate gameplay, and we will be storming the Goblin Camp. We left off in our last stream. We found one of the members of the Grove, and we figured out where Halsin is being held. So we're going to start off by taking out the big three head honchos of the camp. We're going to start off with Priestess Guts, then make our way to save Halsin, and then we'll go and take on Minthara and the other main guy. Now, what I like to do with Priestess Guts is I actually like to have a little conversation with her and bring her alone into another room with me, because then you can actually kill her without alerting the whole rest of the camp. Now, of course, right off the bat, before I even started to do anything, I realized Gale was having his condition again. It was starting to worsen, so I was like, ah, crap, better deal with that. So we'll deal with that right here.
My condition is worsening again. I need to consume some powerful magic or it may become volatile. Thank you. It is a strange experience. Each time anew, like a lost soul is spelunking through the darkness that is me, only to be sacrificed on the dread altar of the heart. But this doesn't feel quite right. I mean, it never feels right, but it relieves. This doesn't relieve. Oh. The magic isn't having the effect it should have. It's not like the last time, like a rainstorm that quells a forest fire. It merely drizzles. The embers still sizzle, the fire remains undefeated. I'm not certain what's going on, but nothing good. Please, I need to think. I need to retrace my steps to a glade of calm and think. Thank you for the artifact. A great deal of trouble it was too. A great deal of trouble indeed.
Now here's somebody special. The Absolute has touched you, hasn't she? Priestess Gut needs to touch you too.
Yeah, this bitch gonna die.
Hold out your arm so I can mark your flesh.
Priestess, we want them all.
Alright, so I went to go follow Priestess Guts up here, and I totally messed up. One of my characters walked into one of the guards, and I got kicked out. I had to come back up here again. I just edited it out for you guys. The other thing is I'm not very powerful, and I take a long time to make decisions in this. So what I did is I kind of just went for the three head honchos, and then the rest of their minions. I was just like, bop, 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 kill them. So I hope you guys enjoy the gameplay, and I'll explain some other things as we get to them.
And I'll do the rest. Don't want anyone peeping on private matters, so... There we go. Secret and safe. Well, secret.
Psionic feelers creep across your mind, like a pickpocket's fingers seeking flaws in fabric.
Is slain, and the Horde is weaker for it. With a shot.
Alright, so the next few minutes of this clip is actually kind of how to get to the Underdark. So it's not really part of taking down the three head honchos, but I did this part anyways because I did it in the beta and it's a lot of fun. I will also be adding part of this video to a how-to series. because there is a puzzle coming up that you guys will see, and I will be putting that into a how-to series, so pay attention for the puzzle.
Poor fucker.
So right about here, I skip just me fucking around in the corner for probably about like 10 minutes. There's nothing really there you can read.
What's that?
Just want to note down right now for you guys, reading books actually does help your character like learn things about the history and stuff about the world. So sometimes you'll get some dialogue and you'll go and do something and you'll be like, oh, I know what he's talking about. That's because you read a book. You know, now there are stats for this as well, but
Here goes
the
nothing.
books do help out as well.
Something good here. I hope.
Just want to point out right here that this is actually the key to figuring out the puzzle to get down into the Underdark.
Interlocking circles with moons and stars. This must be the seal mentioned in that journal.
Let's investigate, shall we?
This goes very far down. We'll have to go in to see the bottom.
So I was gonna leave this out, but the Underdark is beautiful, and I figured you guys should at least know that I visited here. But aside from that, I mean, really, the only notable thing that I did here was watch this Minotaur die. I thought it was pretty hilarious. But after that, I just discovered the waypoint and we just get there.
Get back!
My advice would be care and caution.
Alright, so at this point, you guys, the goblins have no idea that I've taken out Priest's gut, so we're just gonna walk into the front door, and I like to consider this to be one area, this first little part that you enter in here. And so, huge thing about battling is always placing your characters in the right positions before you actually initiate a battle. So as you can see, I take Lizelle and I actually go and put her up here, and then I go into Gale and I put them up there. After that, then I try and take the guys that are up above, then I take the guys down below. It kind of spills out into the next area, but not really. Definitely be aware of your fights spilling out into other areas though. Now, I also do want to mention that if you notice in this fight, nobody actually enters through the door in the back. That is because the guys outside have no idea what's going on the inside. They're also slightly drunk. Some of them are passed out. They're all playing games. They're being loud as shit. They can't hear what's going on in here. Now, another thing I want to mention is I just absolutely love enlarging my characters and just giving myself like this giant dad feeling, like, you know, when you're in Dark Souls and you just pumped all your strength and stamina, just a straight strength and stamina build. The big dad he does so much damage.
I will not know failure.
So the slaughter's on. We're gonna continue killing all these guys at the front, and then in the next area, right after this, all the other guys aren't quite aware of our presence, but I start going into my inventory, my partner's guide just kind of comes up to me and we destroy everybody in there. It's an easy battle. When Priestess Gut is able to buff them, then it makes it a little bit more of a difficult battle, but since I killed Priestess Gut, it's just nothing. After that, we're gonna go and save the Jester and bring him to our camp. I will have footage of us talking to him in the camp in the lore section, but as for actually chatting with him, I'll just kind of go and save his life, and then after that, we'll get straight to saving Halsin. I think I also skipped the guards that are in front of the dungeon where Halsin is being held, so I'm sorry about that. I'm not really sure why I totally skipped the footage there, but yeah, let's keep slaying some baddies. Alright, so I didn't show it right after this fight. I actually quickly go to camp, and there's nothing really in between me and going to camp that happens special, like a transition, but that's why right here, I just press the button and go to camp, so.
The air is heavy. Moisture drips down your forehead. Pain shoots through your fingers. Your hands shake as they reach upward. Your forehead remains drenched no matter how much you wipe.
Chukil Gate Vlakith Mazathok. Can you feel it crawling through you? Tendrils squirming in your chest, gripping your heart, piercing your belly. Your bones popping, your flesh swelling. I can. I see it in you. I feel it in me. We are lost. I will be quick with my blade. First you, then the others, then myself.
Your minds intertwine. You sense a touch of uncertainty, a touch of disgust. A shadow swims across your vision, and a familiar voice tells you to be calm. You are loved. Lae'zel's fear grips you. Not fear of death, but fear of insignificance. The great warrior Lae'zel, a failure to her kind. She will wield no silver sword, ride no red dragon. Forever unknown to the great Lich Queen Vlakith.
I will not let the Geich take me. I will earn Vlakith's honor. I will wait. But know this. I am watching. If the sickness does not pass come dawn, I will end us all. I came just in time. You are transforming. Yes, you have. I saved you before. And I'm here to save you again. Don't worry. You will not become a mindflayer. Not while I'm around. I'll protect you. We haven't much time, so listen closely. There is great potential within you. It comes from that parasite. Your instinct is to resist the power it gives, but you must accept it, nurture it. I will keep it from consuming you, but for the sake of both of us, you must learn to wield it. For the fate of Faerun. A fight we are losing. For now. You can change that, but only if you embrace your potential. I have to go. The enemy is closing in. I will be back. Better. I promise.
A tale for the ages.
Alright guys, so like I said before, we're gonna keep the less important non-major events in a whole another section of videos for you guys. I'll have like a lower section, and we'll have stuff like Act 1, Act 2, and all that, whatever. But we're gonna save the Jester, and then we're gonna go ahead and save Halsin.
Here we go again.
Afterwards, there are actually 2 more companions that you can get for the final boss battle. They won't help you fight Nishara the Drow on the right-hand side of the place here or whatever, but they will help you in the final battle. Those guys are spiders, so...
Forthwith.
Keep.
Alright, so for this next part, you guys are going to want to be able to like have affinity with speaking with like animals and in your nature or whatever, because if you don't, you're more than likely to fail. But remember, you also have party members that can also have different
Spider
abilities and
seems
stuff like
poised
that
to
too.
attack,
So you're
but
more
she
than likely
hesitates,
you shouldn't
tapping her
have to fail on this,
claws
but
as if trying to
just keep that in mind.
communicate. The other spider echoes her.
Now there is one thing actually I totally haven't mentioned yet, but this is a perfect opportunity for it because I totally fail here. I'd roll a 6 out of 10. So if you use inspiration, I find that 9 times out of 10 when you use inspiration, you're almost guaranteed to roll over the number that you need.
The spider
So
relaxes.
that's just a little
slightly,
tip.
but
I'll
you
also have
feel
tips
her
and tricks
hunger
videos that are going to be coming up
fear
in the
beneath
future
the
as well.
surface. She scuttles toward the door.
Alright, so now we got the spiders. They're going to help us for the final battle. One thing I want to mention here is that this first guard that you go up and fight here, you can actually kill him without alerting anybody at all whatsoever in the next 2 areas. So just go ahead and take him out as quickly as you possibly can. And then just remember that that these 3 boss battles, I find if you take out the bosses immediately, then their minions are just bitches, and you just take out all their minions just like that. So I totally screwed myself over, and I got
As you wish.
imprisoned in magic. Don't let that happen to yourself. But at the same time, if you've done what I've done and you've captured Halsin, or you freed Halsin, sorry, and you bring him along with you, he's a force to be reckoned with. He's got a lot of health, and he can do a crap load of damage as well. And if you really, really want to, you can actually untransform him, I guess is the proper term. I don't know. And he can go back into his human form. So you can fight in that form too, but he's definitely has a lot more health there, and I would definitely. And then, so for when it comes to the final fight here, now, it was actually ridiculously easy for me. The first time that I went and I fought these guys, what's his face there, the head honcho, oh my goodness, I should just be paying attention. Anyways, he came up and he buffed all of his buddies, and then they just like all attacked me, and I got absolutely shit knocked. I was not ready for the fight, didn't have very much gear, wasn't a very high level. But what you can do, what's actually a pretty good strategy, is if you use Gale's ability, or if you have any scrolls for Shockwave, you can shoot people into that spider pit down below. And now, if you don't have them as friends, I'm not sure what happens when you knock them down into there, but yeah. So what I did with this fight is, because I got really tired and I've been editing all day, like editing just for over 12 hours easily, excuse me, I decided to take this fight, and instead of editing it like crazy and just making it just the hits and whatever like I was, I figured I'd just speed it up for you guys so you can kind of see, you know, how I fight a little bit, and this is sped up by times 3. So if you were to slow this down 3 times, then you could see how kind of slow my decision making is. And even still, with how quickly I defeated these guys, and how easy it was, I could have done it a lot better. Like this, it was a sloppy fight. A lot of my fights are really sloppy, and that will get better over time. But yeah, so enjoy the rest of the fight. So if you don't know already, there's many ways to approach the Goblin Camp, and one of the things that I did when I played the beta is I actually came in here without attacking anybody, made it all the way this far to the final room,
Tadpole stirs.
and I tried to
It
help this
recognizes
guy,
its master.
excuse me,
There's no
perform the
doubt
Raise the
this
Dead scroll and
creature
talk to
is
him.
responsible
It gave
for
us a
your
bunch of
parasite,
information, so I kind of figured we
and
might
it's
need that
waiting for
information
your
now,
questions.
and I love this. This is one of the features I love about Baldur's Gate. So, hope you enjoy.
Fractured images fill your mind. Curved drow blades, crude goblin torches, gnoll teeth dripping blood. You see other mind flayers arranged in a serene circle. Absolute unity. Absolute power. Dark, empty pods flicker across your vision. They demand new flesh. You watch through the creature's eyes as it curses the starborn slaves. They want the ones from the ship. Darkness and sun, barely contained. You see Draw Ragslin writhe. A tadpole clings to the mindflayer's fingers. The Goblin King bows, obedient. The flesh of his tribe becomes the flesh of the Absolute. You see dark tunnels lit by noxious pools of brine. The darkness spreads through the earth. The sky splits open and nautiloids pour out of a void that consumes the stars. The mindflayer's corpse twitches, then collapses again. It will speak no more.
Alright, so this next part, I'm going to include in a tutorial at some point, but I want you guys to know that not everybody is wanting to use the Illithid powers. Turns out that some of them completely resist it. So, if you want to just take all the tadpoles to yourself and just make yourself a monster, feel free to do that. In this next part here, we go back to the Grove, and we kind of figure out what's going on. We save these guys from the goblins. Now, the Goblin Camp isn't completely taken out. There's still the other half where the other people are drunk as shit. So before we even decide to actually have a little party and a little get-together with these guys to celebrate, we're going to go back to the camp and destroy the rest of the goblins. That will be next episode.
Instead,
but for
I
now,
shall listen to the explanation
Paga
that you owe me.
unfortunately has made some
I
bad
owe you
decisions,
nothing.
and she's getting punished for it.
Goblins swarmed us
I'm
like
really
roaches when
upset
you
because
stumbled
if
after
you
the
guys
past,
noticed
you
in
chose to
my
abandon
stream,
us.
which I mean not a lot of people
chose to
I think
protect
have really
us.
actually watched it,
Silence.
but anyways,
The
I
rite has been
picked up
ended.
Paga's
I will
chest and
allow
I
you
went
to
and opened
stay,
it, and she had
but
this letter
consider
from
yourself
the,
a novice
I can't remember who
anew.
it was, but in the beta when I
You have
played it,
forgotten the ways
Paga
of the
was
druids.
being
Our place
told
in the
by another
natural
group
order.
of people to
You shall
perform
learn
this
it all
rite
once
so that
again,
they
right
could,
here.
you know, take over the druid's home.
Backslide.
Upset
and
that I
nature's
never
fury
ended
will
up going
crush you.
down that path and figuring that out,
As you
but
wish,
hey, there's always an
Master
next clip,
Halsin.
right? So, we're gonna go and we're gonna get our loot that we won from this place, and then after that, we're gonna go and save a deep gnome I think it is, yeah, deep gnome, from being thrown off of,
I wasn't sure about
thrown
you at
off of
first.
something. I don't want
Thought
to
you
spoil
might be
it.
trouble.
It's freaking hilarious, actually.
I was very
But we
wrong.
kicked the crap out of some more goblins, and then after that, there's a surprise with Gale. So, hope you guys are enjoying it so far, and I'll catch you right after we speak with Gale. Now, one thing I did, and I kind of realized I wish I didn't edit it exactly the way I did, but I cut out a lot of my inventory management and, well, pretty much all of me picking up loot. I'm really sorry about that, guys. I'll actually end up making other videos where it's like loot specific. I find that in this first kind of area with the Grove and the Goblin Camp, there's not a whole lot of notable loot. The only real notable loot is actually on the main head
I sensed an
himself.
infernal around here.
But this
you
part's
aren't
really
from
important, so I'm gonna
Elturel?
shut up.
What's your story?
I spent a good bit of time in the Hells. Enlisted against my will by the Archdevil Zariel. Same as you, I suppose, if you're from Elturel. The devils were delighted when your city was swallowed up. I thought they had you for keeps. Glad you got out.
I got lucky. It looks like you did too. And you brought some infernal machinery with you.
A little gift from Zariel. Keeps me burning hot.
Very hot by the smell of it. Might be burning out a piston ring or leaking oil. Mind if I take a listen?
Be my guest. But don't get too close or your eyes will melt shut.
Phew! You really are burning up. Whoever put that engine together tried to house metallogized Demono valves inside a Ragnak's alloy casement. Very risky. I might be able to help, but I'd need infernal iron.
And a prayer that my hammer will survive the work. That thing isn't meant to operate outside of Ernest. I'm not sure how much longer it'll keep running the way it's going.
Will you be able to turn down the temperature a little? Worried I'm gonna go in for a handshake and singe someone's arm off one of these days.
I'd worry about surviving the night first. But help one, help both. If we can cool you off, it'll stabilize your engine and allow you to touch whomever you please.
Hey, soldier. I think we picked up some of that infernal iron already. What say you? Should I give it to him? Please let this work.
The weight of it. And that blaze of chaos. Can't imagine this where my heart should be. Must be quite the experience. Give me just a moment. And I think... There. You'll have to install it, I'm afraid. I don't think there are thick enough gloves in all the realms to protect from that kind of heat.
That feels... good. I'm still burning hot as hell's hole, but I feel less... changeable. Cheers, mate.
Pleasure. And as for the heat, I haven't got any solutions now, but I'm not giving up. Could be if the combustion chamber had its own insulation, or if we had some kind of enchanted coolant. Find me again in Baldur's Gate. If I'm worth my salt, I'll have figured something out by then. Take care, Karlach. And hopefully the next time I see you, I'll have something promising to report. Pocket any infernal iron you find along the way,
Look what we got here! Another little birdie wanting to fly! Stop this thing! Flap those wings some more, and I'll feed you a worm. And you! Hope you got a stomach for ice!
Yeah, we're gonna make you eat it. So, we completely destroy all these guys. We save this deep gnome, and he's kind of a little bit of a dick about it, but we also know that he's loyal to his friends. And I'm pretty sure we see him again in the future as well, so I try not to be too big of a dick to him. But then, after that, we're gonna have a conversation with Gale. Now, after the conversation with Gale, I'm not sure how much more talking I'm really going to do, so I really just want to say thank you guys for watching this so far, and I really appreciate any likes and subscribes and comments that you guys give. I just want to say I'm not going to ask for them. This will be the one and only time I really actually say that in an edited video, and aside from that, you know, just have fun. Like, I just want to entertain some people. I want to have fun. I hope you guys have fun. And you know, definitely give me tips. You know, tell me what you guys want to see. Tell me, you know, how I should edit better. You know, stuff like that. Just the whole 9 yards. You know, any kind of criticism, I will take it in a positive manner. I mean, if you guys want to just go, oh, you're a fucking faggot, whatever, no big deal. I'm just gonna ignore those,
As expected.
even though I haven't actually made any content in the last 12 hours and I really want to play Baldur's Gate,
Only reason those goblins
I'm gonna
caught me
get to
was its
here as
weight.
soon as this video is
I'll
done.
travel
So I'll see
lightly
you guys
from
in the
now
stream
on.
here, and thanks for tuning in.
Ignorance
Hope you
is
guys have
alive
a
and well,
fucking
it seems.
awesome day.
Deep gnomes aren't restricted to the Underdark, you know. I've lived in Baldur's Gate for years. I'm in search of a friend. I fear he's in trouble. See this? I gave it to him years ago before I left home. I found it around the neck of a thug in the lower city. It was speckled with blood. My friend, nowhere to be found. But I still have hope. I have reason to believe he's in the Underdark. Hopefully, I'll pick up his trail from there. I always help my friends. On that note, I bid thee farewell. If we should meet again, well, we will have met again.
My condition has been ignored as little as I do. What has seemed around effect. And soon. Thank you. Good gods. It hardly has any effect. Oh, Mistra, have mercy on us all. Listen, I need to speak to you, to all of you. It would be unconscionable of me to remain silent. I might just be about to remedy that. You have to know who I was. You have to know who I really am. What I am is a walking shadow of the promise I once held. I'm what one might call a wizard prodigy. Who from an early age could not only control the weave, but compose it. Much like a musician or a poet. Such was my skill that it earned me the attention of the mother of magic herself. The Lady of Mysteries. The goddess Mistra. She revealed herself to me and she became my teacher. In time, she became my muse. And later, even my lover. Oh, yes. We enjoyed each other's company. Body, mind, and soul. But even so, I desired more. You see, no matter how powerful a wizard we mortals can become, we never scratch more than the surface of the weave. Mistra keeps us in check. There are boundaries she doesn't let us cross. Yet, every time I was with her, I stood on the precipice, gazing into the wonders that lay beyond. I sought to cross her boundaries. Though not, I think, my methods. I tried to convince her. I pouted. I pleaded. Swore my ambition was only to serve her better. She only smiled and told me to be contented. But inconceivable as it seems to me now, I shared a bed with a goddess, and yet I wasn't satisfied. So I sought to prove myself worthy to her instead. We come now to the crux of my folly. Shall I share the story behind it, or would you rather head straight to its sordid finale? Very well. Here goes. Once upon a very long time ago, a mighty lord lived in a tower. A flying tower, to be precise. I'll save his history for another time, but the gist of it is that he sought to usurp the goddess of magic so that he could become a god himself. He almost managed, but not quite. His entire empire, Netheril, came crashing down around him as he turned to stone. The magic that was unleashed that day was phenomenal. Roiling like the prime chaos that outdates creation. Even the weave itself could not withstand the onslaught. Fractured, then shattered, and all magic was lost to the mortal realms. Until the day Mistra returned. She restored the weave, reuniting all its scattered shards. Or so I thought. Until, in the course of my studies, I learned of a book. A Netherese tome in which a piece of the fractured weave had been sealed beyond her reach. What if, I thought, what if, after all this time, I could return this lost part of herself to the goddess? The answer was to try. The outcome was to fail. I was certain that this deed of raw power, draped in romance, would convince Mistra to take me by the hand and welcome me into her hitherto forbidden domains. I was mistaken. I obtained the fabled book and took it into my study. As for what happened next... Here. Place your hand over my heart. Let me show you.
You feel the tadpole quiver as you realize Gale is letting you into the dark. You see through Gale's eyes, staring down the corridors of a dread memory. A book bound and suddenly opened. Inside there are no pages, only a swirling mass of blackest weave that pounces. Its teeth, its claws, it's unstoppable as it digs through and becomes part of you. And gods, is it ever hungry.
Thankfully, the moment I absorbed the fragment wasn't enough to kill me outright. It was only the beginning. This Netherese blight, this orb, for lack of a better word, is balled up inside my chest. And it needs to be fed. As long as I absorb traces of the weave from potent enough sources, it remains quiet. Were it ever to fully destabilize, however. I will erupt. I don't know the exact magnitude of the eruption, but given my studies of Netherese magic, I'd say even a fragment as small as the one I carry, it'd level a city the size of Waterdeep.
You thrice-damned rotten bastard! You've been the greatest threat to our lives all this time!
I swear to you I wasn't. But I've no choice but to admit I am now. Perhaps it would be best if I leave. Put as much distance between us as I can before the orb erupts. We might chance upon a king's collection of magical artifacts around the corner. We might cross paths with a miracle round the bend. Then again, we might not. All of this, it must feel like a betrayal. Say the word, and we'll part ways. That is a great relief. Oh, a great relief indeed. You truly are a soul that steals my own. From all my new rallied heart, I thank you. I thank you all. I understand if you stand against me. I'm humbled if you stand with me. Either way, I will do my best not to let you down. I stand at a precipice, but if you do not give up hope, neither shall I. I'll fight. I'll resist as long as I can. Now, even I am tired of the sound of my own voice. Let us venture forth.